Hi guys, I'm Madeline Harvey. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Do you ever feel like your chest voice is too loud, too heavy, too pulled, too pushed, too pressed and squeezed? Well, this is the video for you. We're going to work on chest voice agility. This will allow the muscles of the inside of the larynx to be able to share the load of the voice, giving you more smoother transitions and more control of your overall sound. So if you like today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up or click that subscribe button below. I'd love to see you here more often. So what do I mean by the muscles that govern singing? We've got two major ones. Now there's lots of muscles inside of the voice, but we're going to focus on two major ones today. And for shorthand, we'll call them the thyroid muscle. If this is your larynx and your vocal cords are stretched across it, they go and they pull the cords in so that they're shorter and thicker. And then the arachnoid muscle, that's the one that pulls against it like so and makes the cords thinner and more refined and compressed. So what happens when we get an overly exaggerated chest voice that feels like it's shouty or it's overly pulling is that thyroid muscle is carrying too much of the vocal load. Now, this is probably all of us to some extent because we do know that chest voice feels as a sensation closer to our speech. So therefore, we can get into a shouting match with a song. So let's try this. We'll say, hey, and we're going to take that chest voice up. And if you notice it gets stiff or stuck, that is how you know that thyroid muscle is hogging all the glory. Okay? So let's do this, like a little siren. Hey! Yeah, right? So that's what's going on. And it's really helpful to know that that's what it feels like. So eventually, because that's D5, maybe E flat 5. So that's up there. And we don't want to pull that up because that was not impressive. I did not have control over that. I had no freedom within that. Completely lacked nuance and got too tight. So now let's try it again, and then we're going to let it go on the top. Now what that is the arachnoid, the thyroid muscle can no longer sustain too much emphasis and it releases, but the thyroid muscle is too loosey-goosey. So it ends up being like almost a falsetto-y flip kind of sound. So let's give that a try. Hey, hey, hey. It's actually really hard to do. Hey, there it is. Yeah, we don't want that either, right? So what's the fix? What's the medicine? It is chest agility. So the other word for that is internal transitioning. So try this for me. We're going to yodel. Can you give me like and E? So low note, high note. It doesn't really matter if it's on pitch or not. It's just sensation. So can you feel that? Try that with me. Yeah, you feel those changes. You can feel that thyroid pulling down, arachnoid pulling that way. So let's give that a try. What we're doing is we're just allowing for that change. That is the doorway to agility, is the ability to move. So if you've got an overly compressed or overly shouty chest voice, this allows you to take some of that weight out for the sake of movement. If you find that your voice tends to be too stiff, it's a fantastic way to loosen this up. Here we go. Feel those muscles working together. Higher, don't make that chest sensation too heavy. Keep it lighter. Good, very good. Take it down. way to just kind of feel and isolate that internal transitioning. Because we got to be able to trust that both of those muscles will do their job when we ask them to, right? Yes. So you can expect your chest voice to get clearer, to get lighter so that it can move. When something is too heavy and stiff, it can't be moved too much. So that pressure starts to build, that air pressure starts to build, and we get shouty. So here's what we're going to do now. And we're going to start it right here. We're going to go high, just like that. So try that with me. But let's stick our tongue out like this. Yes, this will allow for a little bit more exposure on that mechanism so that things aren't hiding behind the tongue. Here we go. Again. Starting to feel less obvious, those transitions. That's how you know that those muscles are working together. So now we're going to add a whole bunch of runs in between. So on the voice. And it's okay if the voice shakes. That's indicative of you've isolated an interior weakness. And we want to know where those are. Okay, so don't fault yourself if your voice is shaking a little bit. We're also using speed as our friend. So if you have a tendency to put too much weight on your voice, you can't put that weight and move at the same time. So let's try it together. Across that bridge, but it should kind of feel weightless. The chest voice doesn't have too much weight on it, and we're keeping everything nice and consolidated so we get clarity through that bridge. Good. How it's all starting to sound the same because both of those muscles are playing their part. They're doing their job. Now again, not okay. Really start to think. Want that internal transition to happen. Good. Not we don't want stiffness. Keep it loosey-goosey. Let's try that one again. What was that playing? Let's try it again. Notice it's taking a little bit more of a demand for the breath now. If our chords are nice and closed clearly, we won't be wasting energy. But we are getting into the upper notes, so the head voice is becoming more dominant. So there's that arytenoid muscle, and we've got to let it be dominant. We don't want to go, that's too much thyroid muscle. If that ever feels stiff, that's too much of that one muscle. So if anything, let it feel loose. Good. Two more. Yes, 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 yes. So don't fault yourself if your voice is just wiggling and wobbling or if it feels out of control. That's kind of the sensation of what internal transitioning feels like, because we may get accustomed to singing in one register, but we don't know how to connect those registers. It was snoring so hard, having a little dream. So this is all about creating that movement, allowing those muscles to get isolated so that you can trust and rely on them to play their part without one hogging all the glory. So there you have it, friends. If you like today's video and you want to watch an entire live, an hour-long lesson that I did on this topic and try those exercises out, then click the join button below and become a member of this channel. As a member, you'll have exclusive access to all of our lives that we do every Monday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you can't join us live, that's okay. You'll also have access to our members only area with, I don't know how many, I think it's like 150 hours of voice lessons. So there's lots there that you can sink your teeth into as resources. So again, click that join button, become a member of this channel. It's only $4.99 a month, and your contribution helps to support our channel. That way we can continue to deliver awesome content that's just for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you again next time.